Another job I want to do, since I haven't actually done it, is to test these spark plugs. These spark plugs are, I would imagine they're a good age, and they were in a cylinder head that I got for parts, and I put them in this engine because I got a set of new spark plugs and new distributor cap, leads and all of that, and condenser. And to be honest with you, I didn't think the quality was brilliant, so I ended up having to replace them with older parts. So I have it hitched up to my charging system earth from there. So that should be good enough. I don't think it's long. It's not long enough to reach the battery cable, but it should be good enough earth considering the charging system earth from there. So we'll take a look and we'll see if we get a good blue spark. So we'll do that again, get it to focus in on it. That definitely is the colour of spark that I'm looking for, fat and bluish. So I'll put that spark plug back in. I'll just give it a quick clean up with a wire brush and sandpaper, and I'll go on to cylinder number 3 next. There's number 3. Give it a spin. So I don't know, did that come out very clear on the video? So bring it in a bit closer and we'll show you. Try to focus. Story of my life, trying to get things to focus. That's a bit better. Finally, there you can see it. It doesn't show up on all of the footage there, but yeah, I think at the very end you can see that it's a good bluish, slightly purple colour. The thing that I like to do with these now, and I haven't actually done it before, is where your HT lead goes on. I just like to give them a bit of a polishing up with sandpaper, because any form of oxidization like that's on that there, that kind of a dark grey kind of stuff on it, that's all just going to create resistance. That's all going to slow down the spark, reduce the strength of the spark, and then where it's just a little bit lower in there, that kind of curve there, you just scratch it there with a round file and just get it all shiny. It all is going to help get that spark as blue as possible. Blue is hotter than orange or yellow, so they say. That's the colour you're looking to see. So again, these are very old Champion N21s. I'd say myself probably 60s, could maybe even be 50s. That's possible. They're definitely not 70s anyway, that's for sure. So I've set the gap on these already to about 30 to 32 thou, but just some people say, you know, just to check it just with a hacksaw blade roughly, just to make sure, just in case you gave it a dunk on that there and it closed by without you knowing or something like that. So, and just while I'm at it, just may as well run a bit of sandpaper through it there and just shine her up, give her the best chance possible of getting a good reading. So I'm going to attach on my earth lead and we'll give him a spin now next. Connect it up. Yeah, that's definitely good. There's no doubt about it. That is, by God, it's hard to believe that these old spark plugs are still doing their thing. Because yeah, this is definitely not what you call any form of a new spark plug at all. I think there was N5s there. I think I have a few N5s up on some old spark plugs up here. So I've got some old Lodge ones, and these were from another cylinder head that I managed to salvage over the years, and this one says N5. When I looked in the owner's manual or the workshop manual for the Ferguson 20, I think N5 was fitted to, correct me if I'm wrong, a 6-volt petrol converted to TVO, I think, or something like that. Or maybe they were fitted to petrols, TEA 20s, I'm not sure. It was definitely one of them that got them. They're definitely listed as the correct spark plug for one of the Ferguson petrol or TVO engines. So interesting that they're there. I never actually tried them. They're not in the greatest nick, but it would be interesting to see if they actually work. Maybe sometime I'll do the same test on them. But as far as this engine goes, I think N21 is what it should have. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Anyone who's followed the series so far will know that I made these spark plug leads, and a man from Friends of Ferguson Heritage very kindly helped me to piece these together. These are new old stock Champion spark plug caps. The boxes are there, so I was very grateful to receive them, and also I received these from them as well, the genuine Lucas contact set, because the Spare X ones and the QTP ones I got just didn't seem to me to be very high quality at all. So I'm going to sit this up here and we'll do the same thing. We'll just give it a quick clean up in the vise. It's the final spark plug for testing, so we'll see if he makes the same colours, the colour that we want. Yeah, oh yeah. That is what we're looking for. God, I just can't get over the quality of these old parts. But making those HT leads was, when I say, an utter joy. Working with quality parts. The instructions were on the back of them. Now, that's what I had to work with. So you had the little, would be copper, kind of a ringlet there, and you pushed the long end, kind of a needle end, into the wire, not into your finger like I did. And then the top bit then has a little hook on it, and you push that into the insulating rubber of the wire. Then you push the whole lot into the cap and it just clicks in. I was very, very, very impressed with them. They were top quality. I'd love to get an age on them, but I was told they were a new old stock. And the Lucas boxes here, again, quality parts, they just fit. And you can see there's some reference to a 1956 Act. So Joseph Lucas Limited, Birmingham, the Prince of Darkness as he was known. And I have a bit of experience with Prince of Darkness on my 1968 Triumph motorbike, alright, with Lucas parts, but it's all part of the fun of it. So I'm happy that each one of these spark plugs is given out the right colour. I went to my local motor factors months ago, and I did come back with a set of NGK spark plugs that were meant to be the modern equivalent of the Champion N21s. And at that time I was having problems with condensers and rotor arms and all of that, and I was told that the new ones just throw them over the ditch. I was told to do, basically, by the lads that were working on these engines for a long time, lads that I trust, lads that I've used, lads that know their stuff. So I didn't throw them over the ditch, but I have them kept in a tray over there, and if I'm ever stuck, if these very old spark plugs ever fail, at least I have them to get me out of a hole. But they haven't failed yet. So I'm after finding another one of these insulators. I put one on that side of the coil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one on the other side of the coil, and then I'd like to get one for there. Just to hide all of the bare connections, because you touch them and when she's running, you get a dart, and it just tidies it up a little bit as well. Alright, we have that. Washer after falling there, so I'll pick that up. Okay, so there's our connection. Hopefully that'll push through. It will. Okay, that's grand. Get the ringlet come out. I'll get a little pick, little hooked shaped pick to pull that through. Lovely. Now, on connector ringlet, on with spring washer, and on with the 8mm nut. Important to have this connection tight, as I found out before. It didn't run very well when it was loose before, so snug it up. Now, and then push the insulator over it. That just tidies it up a little bit more. Now, another little job done. I was looking through my parts boxes and I came across this oil filter and oil filter housing. Now, I thought it looked a little bit different than the one on the gold belly, so I'm just going to get the torch actually, because we'll get a better look. So this seems to have Tecal limits or something. So it is the same. It is the same make that's written there, but there's a lovely brass plate on this, and you'll see there that the end of there has good has a big bolt, I'd imagine, going through it. And this one is all different. There's a kind of a captive bolt in there. So this is a different, it's different looking than this. The casting is different. So what I might do for the fun with this, put it through the parts washer, give it a clean up that lovely brass nameplate, and just have a look and see what's written on it. And I might have a look and see where exactly this came from. I got most of the parts from the engine of this tractor and other bits like brakes and bits of the dash, and it seemed to me to be fairly early. I don't know, is that meant to be there, or is it damage, or people hitting it for some reason? Maybe it's meant to be there, it's hard to know. Give it a bit of a clean up and see, just for the fun of it, and see if there are any other features on it that might just give me an idea of, is it from an early 6-fold, is it from, it isn't from very early because they're straight down, and I'm pretty sure this one was slightly horizontal. So maybe it's from an early standard engine. So we'll give it a clean up and see. So I just give it a quick clean, and you can read it there. Tech helmet, engine oil, engine lubricating oil filter. And there's category numbers there. Come on and focus. Element numbers, obviously I'd say they were the numbers that you could, of filters that you could fit. There's something rattling in it, so I don't know, is it oil pressure relief valve ball bearing in there that's rattling. But for the sheer and utter fun of it, the good old, oh, this is very loose. I thought that was going to be a lot tighter than that. For the sheer fun of it, put on the trusty 11/16 and let's have a quick look and see inside. Maybe there's an old filter in it. I'm sure if it's very old, it'll look a lot different than the new style filter. So I'll put it up on the camera here, and that's not tall enough, so I'll lift up the camera a little bit. That's as high as it goes, so that should be good enough there. Tap the screen to focus, and yeah, just for the fun. I do like these original parts. lovely working with the metal in them is a lot better. The threads, the nuts, the bolts, the washers, I'm sure. As we all know, all these things really are nuts and bolts and parts really. There's not a whole lot else to them. But just to take a look and see what's in here. So that's the bolt, that's okay. It's very well gunked up in there. Gasket is still nearly in one piece. Remember having to make one of them before for my 20 diesel. I think 20 diesel has a lot more holes in them than that. Is there anything in here? And what we have in here is some nuts and bolts. So, oh, they're for holding, they're for going through they go through the housing. Very good. So I think it would be rude not to at least take out them nuts and bolts, clean them up and put them away in my tray. So whoever used to own this Ferguson 20 in bits had cracked the block and taken all the parts off, and I had planned on putting in a new block. So it's any wonder they left all the nuts and bolts in parts like this. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm not 100% certain what type of petrol TVO standard engine this came from. I presume 12 volts, maybe early 12 volts. If anyone knows, feel free to put it in the comments. When I saw this lovely brass plate, I said, I wonder does my own oil filter on the gold belly have that, and it doesn't. So it's just nice to see that sort of material in parts.